Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys making some time to watch the video. Always very grateful for that. Regardless if you're a live scope fanatic and you're a hater of the channel, or if you're fighting the good fight like a lot of us are and trying to get live scope banned from the tournament competition, just welcome everybody out there. Guys, I wanted to do this video. This is another anti-live scope video. I wanted to do this because I've gotten a rash of very vitriolic, hateful comments over the last week about people that are super defensive about their spotlighting habit. And I wanted to address that in today's video and sort of get into the bigger picture with that. Also, before we get started, guys, just a couple of daily quick housekeeping tips. But like, if you guys like the content here of the channel, or even if you don't like it, but you like to watch the channel, I'd like to invite everybody to subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. And also a big thank you to everybody out there that's been using my Tackle Warehouse link to order your fishing equipment. That's really been a big help to me and my family, so thank you very much for that. Okay guys, just like the title said, let's call it for what it is. Forward-facing sonar is spotlighting for bass. People that rely on forward-facing sonar do have an umbilical cord, and I equate it, and I say it's an umbilical cord because it's the same thing as somebody having an umbilical cord tied to their mother, or somebody that is like out on the space station and they're outside the spacecraft and they've got life support, cables connected to them with oxygen and pressurized suits and that type of stuff. If they lose that, if a live scoper loses their video game, just like somebody losing an umbilical cord or somebody, losing their life support system, they're done. And that is the position that we are coming into, because we are rapidly creating a generation of anglers and a segment of the angling population out there that do not have any other skills except for live scoping, for live scope. That's it. That's all. That is their game. They don't know how to run patterns. They don't know how to understand seasonal movements and patterns of fish. They don't know how to use various lure categories out there. They get out there, they turn their 6 electronic units on, they put on their forward-facing minnow and their jerk bait and maybe a swim bait, and they troll around out in the middle of the lake or in the middle of a cove or wherever and spotlight for bass. That's the thing about it. And I've noticed the last week or so, there's been a lot of people that have really, their rhetoric and their tone has really changed against them, because make no mistake about it, these people that are very pro spotlighting, forward-facing sonar, they understand that if this goes away and there's limitations put on this, or if it's banned from tournament competition, then they become irrelevant in tournament fishing. Guys, I would venture to say right now that there's probably 30 to 40 anglers on the Bassmaster Elite Series, and probably close to that many on the Bass Pro Tour, that if they came out with a live scope ban where forward-facing sonar was not allowed, those guys are done. Their careers are completely over, because they have completely made a career from spotlighting. And from that standpoint, that's why so many of them are adamant. And that's why I get attacked a lot, because I am leading the charge against this in the fishing community out there. So when you have a platform as big as mine or some other people out there, and you're railing against something that is destructive to the sport, and people realize that maybe their future in the sport is going to be gone if this thing's done, they get very defensive about it. And even people that don't fish tournaments, even recreational anglers that have become so addicted to it, crappie fishermen, cat fishermen, bass fishermen, they know that they'll never experience catching fish like they have with forward-facing sonar if they go back to traditional fishing out there. And people always say, it's like, Randy, give it up. When are you going to quit whining, you big crybaby? When are you going to give this up? Guys, it's no different. That'd be like saying to me, if I was on this anti-pollution, say all my videos where it's like, I called out polluters on all the lakes, every single video out there, for people to say something like, Randy, get off the polluters' back. You're just a big crybaby. This pollution's not hurting our lakes, and we're fine with that. It's that type of mentality, because I equate polluting our lakes and forward-facing sonar in the same categories in terms of long-term threat to the sustainability of the sport, which is just one aspect of it there. So where does that leave us at here? I mean, it leaves us like we're getting a deeply divided angling public out there with this forward-facing sonar for no reason at all, guys. It's like the only reason that we've got this division in our sport amongst anglers that is growing extremely tense is the fact that Bassmaster and MLF perpetuate it. That's the only reason. So many people, and you guys probably get tired of me saying this, but so many people out there, they've come to the place where they've normalized forward-facing sonar to the extent that they think it's just a natural evolution of the sport. It's not a natural evolution of the sport. It is something that is influenced by money, it's influenced by greed, it's influenced by apathy and short-sightedness out there. And there is going to be a large segment of the angling population that is aware of this, and they're going to stand up to it because they understand what is at stake here. So one of the things that I want to say about it is like, I don't want to cause this division. That's not my point here, because I love this sport and I consider everybody that loves to catch bass my brothers, man. That's the community that we're in. But one of the things that I want to stress to the people out there, if you've gone down the dark road and you are a forward-facing sonar addict, is just take some time to step back and realize what you're missing out on. It's like you guys hear me talk about the mystery and the magic and the aesthetics of the sport and the tradition and the heritage that is being run by exploding technology. But the thing about that is, like, next time you're out there and you're glued to your Livescope screen, just realize what you're actually freaking doing. It's like you're out there oblivious to everything around you. It's like every single thing that's going on in nature, everything that is really, really special as far as the fishing experience on a deep healing therapeutic level does not exist when you are glued to a damn Livescope screen. It's the same with watching a kid that's glued to a PS5. It's the same with watching teenage girls that can't, stop scrolling TikTok on their phone. It's no different than that. And realize the fact that the more that you use forward-facing sonar and the more reliant that you are getting upon this, the weaker that you are becoming as an angler on every aspect. You truly are attached to an umbilical cord and a life support system out there. And that is not where you want to be out there. I can promise you guys, if we woke up tomorrow in a perfect world and Bassmaster and MLF actually did the right thing for one time and they said, guys, we've talked about it, we've decided to not allow forward-facing sonar in our tournament competition. It ain't gonna kill you guys. All it's gonna do is make your experience in the fishing world more special, more deeply gratifying. It's going to go back to the way it was back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s when the sport was at the top of its game. A lot of you guys out there that were not around in the 80s and 90s, you don't understand or realize what professional fishing was like at the time. Everything surrounding it was something that was super, super special. And we've slowly lost that as the sport became more commercialized, as technology intruded into the sport, as the skyrocketing costs of boats and motors and electronic technology took over the sport. It's lost a lot of what it is, and it has truly become an elitist sport. And if you don't believe me, look at every freaking boat at the Bassmasters Classic this week that's got $30,000 to $50,000 worth of electronics on that, and you tell me that's not an elitist sport, where somebody can afford to have that technology, yet some other angler cannot afford to have that technology, yet there's no level playing field. It's like Bassmaster and MLF have refused to acknowledge the reality that we need a level playing field in the sport from a financial standpoint. And exploding electronic technology, turns this sport into something that's out of reach for most people out there. So anyway, guys, like I said, I'm not your enemy. If you're a forward-facing sonar fanatic, I'm not some villain that you want to see me as that in that light there. I'm just trying to help you open your eyes a little bit and wake up to the fact of what is going on, because I think a lot of people with this forward-facing sonar, they fell into this information silo or an information bubble, where they've got this worldview of forward-facing sonar, and they've tasted some of the I call it dark success from it, and it's very difficult to break away from that. And they surround themselves with people that support that same point of view out there, and they ignore the reality of the situation and as far as the bigger picture goes. So anyway, guys, that's just a few thoughts for today on that. And this isn't going to stop. I mean, if you're one of those people that every single day, leaves a meme on one of my social media channels, beating a dead horse, or give it up, Randy, or stop with the crying, it ain't going to stop. This is not going to stop until we get this reversed and we get this taken away from the sport. I'll do whatever I can to do that, because it is the good fight. Make no mistake about it, guys. It is the light road. It's the good fight. It's the right side of history to get this taken out of our sport. And if you are one of the anglers out there that are perpetuating this, I think you really need to reconsider your worldview on the bigger picture of fishing and what it means and what the long-term sustainability of it means. So anyway, shoot me a few comments, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk later.